G'day folks. Oh, well, I'm going to celebrate today. This is one of these videos that I'm really excited about. You know, when you're on this journey of, and you guys know when you're doing your own car and you go into these, you just can't find the problem, you know, you can't fix it. And it just goes on and on and on, and you're racking your brain talking to people, and well, that's what it's been like for me for the last few months. Yes, I could have taken that carb, guys, and paid someone to do it for me, but that's what I'm not about. I'm about learning and doing everything as much as I can myself. And this is why it takes that little bit longer, but the rewards are so satisfying, guys. It's unbelievable, and this is why I do it. This is why I do it, and this is a lot of the reason why I do the channel too. To show you the heartaches and the battles that I've had over the last few years. But I'm getting there, guys. I'm starting to win, and I've got this carburettor the way I want it. It's probably a little bit fat at the minute, but I can sort of pull jetting out of it to suit. But geez, it's a good feeling. And you know what it took, guys? It took those vent tube extensions to pull this thing into gear. I've been in contact with a guy probably for the last 12 months. But just through this week, we've been talking on and off through the week, and he's an expert on carbs. And that conversion kit that I purchased has got some real oddities going on with it. In the emulsion circuit, a lot of it doesn't make sense. So I said to George to start with, I said, look, let's just try these vent tube extensions and see what happens. You know, I mean, it is a well-known hack in the blow-through community that it really fattens up the circuit and really brings the carb to life. What I'm going to do, I'm going to jump in it and we'll fire it up, and I'll just bring it up on a few revs, 2,000 or 3,000 revs, and you'll just see how rich it's running, like when the primaries circuit kicks in. We're not getting into the secondaries, but just on that primary circuit. It has an effect idle quality or idling. It's still pretty much the same. But, oh, look, it's really changed it. And even just throttle response, it's got even better, guys. It's just blown me out of the water. So I'm celebrating. I'm going to celebrate because I've been pulling my hair out for the last few months, and it's been a real struggle. So let's get in it. I'll fire it up, and we'll go from there, guys. That's fuel pressure. showed you there just a second ago, guys, went down to about 0.69. Remember that if we're about 5 too rich, that means that we were sort of 8.4, 8.3 sort of thing. So it's on the money, just on the primaries. It was never that, you know. When it was running before, it was, it would have been up around 8.5, 8.6. So that would have, on the gauge, and that would have meant that I was up around sort of 0.9. So it's made a huge difference to richening it up. Oh, it's bloody awesome. I've still got my 86 100s in there, guys. So 86 front jet and 100 rear. So I just want to try it. Obviously, you know, I'm guessing I'm going to have to pull a ton of jet out of it. But we'll see. We'll see once I head back down. Hopefully this week. So, oh God, it's been a good win, guys. It really has. It's awesome. It really is. And thank you, George, for being there along for the ride with me and helping me through. We took both of us took I took incredible amount of information away just about how carbs operate. George had the patience with me because it's, you know, they're a complex thing if you don't understand them. But I've got I've got an understanding, I would say, still on the basic side of it, but I'm getting there, guys. Whereas even George took a bit away from the vent tube extension. So I think it's a win-win. It's a fantastic thing. Alright, I'll take off what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you guys. I'll take this off and I'll get the camera and a light and I'll show you and you'll see where the pipes are. So that'll be my first little start. See, I'm pumped fuel. I never had that trouble, guys. It's now that I'm needing, you know, a good 30% more fuel, it's made a huge difference. And since these metering blocks, I'm not sure. So even George said even if we'd have run the pump fuel metering blocks and just, you know, change some air bleeds out and we can fiddle around, we could have got away with doing that, you know, back in hindsight, because I've learned a lot since. So it's bloody great. I love it, guys. You know, like I said, I could have easily gone and taken this to someone to get it all sort of modified for me, but I'm not really learning nothing. You know, yes, this might have been the hard way of doing it, but it's the way that I want to learn, because this is the whole point of it. Oh, yes, and I'm going to show you that too. That's an interesting little thing on its own. What to do with the fuel system. Alright, just bear with me, guys. Alright, guys, I hope that's good enough for you. There we go. Focus, look at that. So that's how that's sitting in the clock position. Zoom in on it a little bit, come on. Focus, yeah. So the idea behind it is, guys, it's putting a little bit more pressure in the fuel bowls. And my theory on it all is, why I am struggling with it, is there's still a lot of turbulence just above where the original vent tubes are. And I don't think it's getting a really good signal into the bowls and sort of equalising the bowls with the boost pressure, because it's struggling to pull the fuel. If you've got a lower pressure in the fuel bowls, then you've got at the top of the carb going through it, the air going through, you're going to have a hard time pulling fuel through the boosters. So by running that vent tube, you're getting it up into the clean air, and pressurising 1 or 2 pound over. Who knows, but it's enough to help the fuel get through the circuit and through all the boosters. They reckon another little cheeky trick, if you're struggling to like jet right back and you still can't get it, you can drill some little holes in the vent tube just to bleed some of that air off. So I think it's a great idea, you know, especially in this scenario where you really need, you need fuel. It's as simple as that. I'll take it off, guys, the hat, and I'll show you what it's all about. That's a bit of transmission line, 5/16. I had a little bit kicking about, and yeah, I ended up pulling out my original vent tubes and yeah, running these things in. I've just got a tiny little bit of a weld on top. Comes out nice and easy. It's very solid. I have tried this mod years ago, guys, but I ended up using fuel line. I came across it about 4 years ago, this idea, and I just wanted to try it to see if it made a difference, and it really made a huge difference on pump fuel. But it was only a rough jerry rig setup. So this is steel. It's nice and solid. Goes right down in, it sort of bottoms out fairly well. It's a beautiful fit. So that's it there, guys. Something so simple yet can be so effective. I love it. I really love it. Now, I'll make a little note of it too, guys. I'll show you this. You've got to be careful. This is my sort of take on it. Because you're pressuring these bowls up, you've got to make sure that your fuel pressure is matched. Now, when I look down, so we get a bit of a view on it. I'll get around. See how that's the boost signal to the fuel regulator. See how that nipple as it comes through, I've cut it down, sliced it, and there's a bit of a, I'm not sure, you might be able to see it, there's a scallop there. Well, that ensures that we get really good signal up in the boost, because the last thing you want to do is, the idea is, behind this is, you set your fuel pressure at, well, I've got it set at about 7 psi, thereabouts. And the fuel reg will rise pressure 1 to 1. So if we get 1 pound of boost, it should rise up 1 pound of boost, the fuel pressure. So it's always 7 psi above boost pressure. Well, by doing what I've done there, guys, we actually achieve a little bit more fuel pressure over boost pressure. So it's, on this setting, it's about 3 psi more. So we're around 10 psi over 7 pounds of boost pressure. So if by running these, if we gain 1 or 2 psi over boost pressure, I'm still a minimum of 7 psi over the pressure in here, and to make sure we get a good delivery of fuel. So, I mean, if you had these working really well, there's a chance that your initial boost, your initial fuel pressure could drop away, and you could be only 3 to 4 pound above boost pressure going into the bowls. And that's why I sort of did that little trick there. I actually had this years ago, running in just as a nipple going in with no scallop out, and I was actually, well, the air was running by it and wasn't even entering into the line here. I wasn't getting any signal for my reg, and I sort of stumbled along that little sort of trick, and oh god, we get incredible signal now, so it's fantastic. Well, there you go, guys. So I'm stoked. I'm really stoked. So we got the fuel now. We can head back down with confidence and get a result. And that's what it's all about. I want to get a result because my club day's sneaking up pretty quick, and I want to get organised and have it ready for on the 4th of August, Sunday I think it is. Yeah, it's great. All right. One little thing before I go, guys. I need your help. This is regarding my rear wing that I'm sort of still in the throes of fabricating. I had a comment come through. I've actually had a few comments come through. They suggested I try and get a mechanical fix. And look, it makes sense, guys. But I'm struggling to come up with some ideas on how to sort of... I was just hoping to get a mechanical fix just on these 4 gussets at the front here. I mean that by some sort of bracketry with some little screws or rivets or just something. But if there's any guys out there that got any ideas, I'm really struggling to come up with an idea that looks good. So, you know, one guy, well, I thought maybe a bit of angle iron, just some nice little bit of small bit of an aluminum, and I could get a fixing that way and sort of up like that. But I don't know. I don't really know at this stage. I'm just having a hard time. And I need to sort of get it sort of a little bit more solid before the 4th of Sunday, because I don't want to sort of take it down like that and they say no. Yeah, I don't think you can be too cautious about it because it's a huge wing, and I'll tell you what, it's gonna create a bit of downforce. So, any of you guys, any ideas on something that's trick, or yeah, just throw a comment and just try and help me out there, guys, because I am struggling on that one. Yeah. All right, folks. Well, hopefully Thursday or Friday this week I get down to the dyno and I can give it a last shakedown run with the fuel and just sort it all out once and for all. Fantastic. All right, guys. I'll pop one up soon. Catch you later.